Welcome inside a very special edition of Big Ten Today. Rick Pizzo joined by Trent Meacham. I love this day because it's the day we get to look back and recognize all the great performers and performances from this past regular season.
And very well deserved, Rick. We got real star power in this league. Some legends actually in the game. So it's great to reward these players, these individuals, and coaches. This is going to be fun.
So without further ado, let's get to it. Our big story revealing the all Big Ten first team, and no surprise, headlined by Zach Edey.
Rick, Zach Edey might be the most dominant player in Big Ten history. Gets it done night after night at such a high level, has elevated his game once again. Congrats to Zach Edey.
Averaging about 24 and 12, the only other unanimous first-team selection, Northwestern's Boo Buie.
This guy's a legend for Northwestern. They will build a statue for him. Incredible what he's done year in, year out, and once again.
Yeah, Rayfield's still trying to raise money for that statue fund. Terrence Shannon's Jr. missed some time, but didn't miss the first team.
Hey, still almost 22 points a game. So explosive in the open court. He's a nightmare to contain in transition.
We know what Zach Edey thinks of Braden Smith. Now we know he's a first-teamer.
The ultimate floor general, great feel for the game. No one understands when to get his and when to get his teammates going better than Braden Smith.
Now, the coaches voted Marcus Domask on the first team.
Well, in conference play, he really elevated his game, almost 19 points a game. A straight bucket is so effective from 15 feet and in.
Taking over for Jalen Pickett as the reigning king of booty ball. And on the media side, the fifth spot goes to Maryland's Jameer Young.
Over 20 points a game. Such an explosive point guard, can completely take over games on the offensive end.
And so as we give you one complete look at the all Big Ten first team, again, a six-player team, Edey and Buie, the unanimous selections. Shannon Jr., Smith, selected by both the coaches and media. Jameer Young, a media pick, while the coaches opt for Marcus Domask. Among all those greats, one player stands above, and fittingly, it is Purdue's big guy, Zach Edey, becoming just the fourth Big Ten player ever to win Player of the Year in consecutive seasons, joining Jim Jackson, Mateen Cleaves, and Luka Garza. Edey also a favorite to join an even more exclusive list and become a two-time National Player of the Year. It is time for today's big interview, and it is with the Player of the Year, Zach Edey. Zach, first and foremost, congratulations on winning this honor for a second straight year. And I want to start with that because it's not just your second straight Player of the Year, but the second straight in which you've done it while winning the outright regular season championship, which I know is so important to Coach Paint. How much more special does it make this award?
Yeah, I mean, winning the regular season is one of the most impressive things you can do, just in college basketball. It doesn't matter what conference it is. It's tough. It's a long season. I'm proud of my guys for kind of locking in during this stretch, kind of responding the way we did, and I keep focusing on like the important things, like focusing on like getting like a lot of guys have been through it, but getting like Lance the championship, getting Miles the championship. I think it's kind of the guys who really did it for this year, and we were able to do that for them.
Now, Zach, everybody on the outside knows the points, they know the stats, they know the numbers, they see the awards. What don't they see about what you've put in from a work perspective and a development perspective to get where you are now?
Yeah, I think people kind of see me like improving really a lot from my sophomore and junior year, and then obviously my junior year this year. But they don't see kind of the work that I put in before my freshman year, between my freshman and sophomore year, like all the work that leading up to that allowed me to kind of take that explosion I had last year and then continue that this year. I think people just kind of they don't see that.
So what for you was the most difficult part of that development? There's so many different aspects that go into it: conditioning, diet, the weight workouts, the footwork. What for you was the hardest to perfect?
Probably I would say like it's just kind of staying consistent with it. I think that's the biggest thing. I think I had some up and downs. Like obviously, kind of when you have success, sometimes you want to go away from the work, and that I think I had stretches in my freshman year when I did that, but I learned from it. I understood that like when you go away from your work, sometimes you won't perform in the games. So I learned from it. I kept growing, and I kept staying consistent with it every day in the gym, every day after practice, getting my shots up, getting my routine in, making sure I'm getting in the sauna, making sure I'm getting in the ice tub, make sure my body's feeling right. Just staying consistent with that, I think, is the biggest thing.
I also think it's interesting, you cannot control the officiating. And a lot of officials have never officiated a guy who plays like you at your size. They officiate differently. How do you handle that and not get frustrated sometimes when you're getting calls that on other nights you are getting?
Yeah, it just kind of comes with understanding how hard it is to referee me. I understand that the refs aren't trying to miss a call. They're not trying to intentionally like let dudes foul me. They're trying their best to make every call. Sometimes I'll make them, sometimes I'll miss them. But it's just like us. Like sometimes I'll make a shot, sometimes I'll miss a shot. The ref's not going to get mad at me for missing a shot. Obviously, in the game, I'm going to like feel some like have a little feelings towards a referee for like missing a call. Like, I might get upset, but I know at the end of the day, they're really trying their hardest to make every call. And I have a good relationship with a lot of the referees and relationships that I really value.
Zach, I love the fact that you put out that post last week. If you're not voting for Braden Smith to be a first-team All-American, I don't want to be on the ballot as well. Why did you put that out?
I just believe people kind of overlook him a lot. I think he really makes our team go. I think there's a lot of times where he's like the first option on offense, like setting him a ball screen, getting him in action, and making him make the read. I think a lot of the stuff that he does, people don't look at it because I put up a lot of like big numbers, but he makes everything work. He finds the open man. He'll make the right pass all the time. Like we don't have to worry about him turning the ball over in a press. Like I think he does a lot of things that people don't really recognize, and I think he should be rewarded for it.
All right, Zach, let's go off the beaten path. Let's have a little fun because I know you answer so many media questions. And you have to answer the same question a lot over and over again. So I want to go to the Great White North. You're obviously Canadian. I grew up in northern Vermont, so we were actually closer to Canada than I was to any other state. I want to ask you some questions about Canada, kind of quick rapid-fire answers here, and then just explain why you answered the way you did, okay? So here we go. Better Canadian snack food, ketchup chips or poutine?
Ketchup chips, but I'll dress for the best.
All right. I like a good ketchup chip myself. I know you played hockey growing up outside of Toronto. Are you an old school Maple Leaf guy, Matt Sundin, or a new school Maple Leaf guy, Austin Matthews?
Probably new school. I didn't really ever get to watch the old school, so I'm believing in this team right now.
Yeah, see, that's a nice way of Zach calling me old for even knowing the guys that played way back then. Anybody who did play Canada, play hockey, especially if you did it near the border, you heard two national anthems before games. So better national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner or O Canada?
I mean, obviously O Canada, but might be a little bit biased in that answer.
That's a fair answer. You're going to be patriotic no matter what you say. You go with O Canada, you've been listening to the Star Spangled Banner for a long time. Really can't miss. Best Canadian musical artist or band of all time. And I want to warn you, if you say Nickelback, we may have to end the interview right now.
Canadian artist?
Musical artist.
It's just got to be Drake.
Drake is the correct answer. There really is no other answer. Nickname you prefer that has a little bit of a Canadian tie? The Big Maple, the Canadian Condor, or none of the above?
The Big Maple's solid. People at Purdue really like that. It's the name they chose for me, and I'm glad to take it.
All right, and finally, I want to know about the geographic excellence of your teammates. 10 provinces in Canada. I won't even ask about the 3 territories. How many of your teammates, this includes coaches, could actually name all 10 Canadian provinces?
Probably some of the coaches, because they do a little recruiting in Canada, but I don't think any of my teammates could.
Yeah, and if I threw in the provinces there, the territories, I should say, there's no chance anybody gets all 13. Zach, you do get all the points, all the rebounds, and the Big Ten Player of the Year for the 2nd consecutive year. We appreciate the time. Look forward to watching you play this weekend up in Minneapolis.
Thank you.